let's start the Patreon.
Uh-oh.
He has one. Let's start the Patreon right now. I can't draw. I can't ink. I can't draw letters.
Well, once again, my contributions will just be reposting the same JPEG every day.
You know, I like it. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Postmodern. I really like it. And then like maybe one day people will expect you to post something different, but then you don't. And that's like the funny part about it.
I never will.
It's like those Facebook pages, groups that
It's
are like
every day a picture of Jeff Goldblum.
Right. And it's just like the same thing. And it's always the same thing. And then you're like, maybe they'll change it. And then you're like, nah.
That's true, except I've also just independently, of my own volition, just looked at that webcomic every day for the past 11 or so years.
Ben, I got another one. You ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. So 2 people are sitting on the couch, right? And one person's playing...
This sounds familiar.
One person's playing a single-player game, okay?
Right? Yeah.
And they're snacking on food, maybe Cheetos, gamer fuel, right?
Haven't we all been there?
Right. We've literally all been there. That's the amazing part. It's so relatable. Right. So the person's done, and he's like, "Oh wow, this game's cool. You gotta try it out, man. Here, take my controller." And the controller has a whole bunch of like dirt and like food particles on it. And then the other person's like, "Oh, what do I do?" And this is like in their thought bubble. It says, "What do I do? ... This game is so cool. Gamers like me, but I don't know what to do. I can't touch that controller. It's not nice."
Hey, no.
How big is this panel?
Can you describe the controller more with more words?
Yeah.
Well, like the last, so the thing is, the first 3 panels are like,
the Vine
couple hundred pixels, but then the last one is like literally like a 5,000 by 5,000 thing where they have this like really long, inner monologue with themselves, and they're just trying to figure out what's going on with their, like, what's wrong with their life, where did they get to at this point, are they going to touch the controller, what does the controller symbolize, all this kind of stuff. It's crazy.
I think the controller symbolizes control in your life,
and that's what in the very last part of the panel, that's what
grab hold of it.
That's when the psychologist starts saying in the very last part of the panel. It's a really complicated panel.
So yeah, that's a good one. That's really deep, and I think that's going to be one of the ones that people look to, and they're like, "Wow, I hadn't thought of it that way."
I think what we should do is when we make it, we should have these comics have as much words as possible, because people like reading on these things.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people can make fun of Control-Alt-Delete for having a million words to describe the joke. But did you ever see the comic of, I think it's Samus and Lara Croft, and for some reason they're at a bar, and literally the entire page is like a 1,000 words. It is littered with the tiniest font words, and I've never actually read it, but I've seen it posted at least like 20 times or something.
I feel like if your joke has that many words, like it's not...
Like I want to find it.
Your webcomic.
And show it to you.
It's like there's... I love webcomics that fundamentally don't understand their own medium, or why it works, or why it's funny.
I mean, they could, like, be a writer. Alright, I'm looking it up right now.
But
yeah, look up, like, Samus Lara Croft bar comic or something.
Got it.
Wow, first result. But that looks... But actually, sometimes the joke is that, hey, this guy's talking a lot. Right? And you're not supposed to actually read it. Maybe the punchline is that, like, oh, this guy's being excessively wordy.
We'll see. We'll see if I can find this. Internet?
You know what? Webcomics are just...
Lord in heaven, is this it?
Does it have a jillion words?
It's not Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, that's it. That's
it.
It has 1 billion words.
Wow.
What is happening?
I don't know if it's something that's...
It looks bad.
Oh yeah, the art style is also terrible.
What?
It has bad art. I want to read it, but it has like a ton of swear words.
It does.
Oh yeah, that's why you can't read it. It's too pure for your
It
mind.
looks.
I try to keep this PG on this channel.
Oh, you mean read it out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
read
would
it out
take
loud.
like 10 years.
It looks terrible.
Wow, I mean, like, every panel I'm seeing, like, 10, 15 F-bombs. And then Duke Nukem's at the end.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Oh, wow. Like, I literally... Okay, never
Just
mind.
2 gals, you know, griping.
That was Okay, here are the comments from it. That was surprisingly engaging.
Oh, really?
Oh, here we go.
I was repulsed from the very concept.
So, there's TLDR. There's...
Oh, okay.
That was pretty cool. More, please.
More, please. Alright, so I guess they want more words. They want a novelization.
Some guy said... Dude, I love how people on Reddit, because this happens to be Reddit, like...
Yeah, it happens. Of course it's Reddit.
They, like, don't know when to turn on and turn off sarcasm on the friggin' internet. It's like,
Yes, so
if only there was a website where all of these comics were gathered together, sigh, I guess it will never be. And I'm not sure if they're being sarcastic or not. Like, there's
or
not
if they really are that dumb.
there's not a, but is there a website where they have, like, every...
There's gotta be some website where they're
Yes.
like... Even if it's our webcomics. Just search our webcomics.
Lol, I guess I won't put any subnormality, that's the comic, if all the commentary is going to be TLDR. That's a shame, it's one of my favorite webcomics, with great wit and a unique, humorous illustration style. Lesson learned. The lesson being that kids these days are too impatient and impacted by their ADHD to read anything over 15 words. Dude, it is like...
It is at least like 2,000 words.
It is at least 2,000 words. It is like... again,
I'm sorry.
for those people out there that want to search it, it is a little R-rated in like what they talk about, but
You're like, if you're doing a webcomic and more than 50% of your comic is actually obscured by speech bubbles or thought bubbles, you have failed at making a comic. Like, that's not what a comic is. Comics are for, like,
here we go. You
primarily
ready for these? Here's
visual gags.
Here's where they start getting a little pretentious. So, this first one isn't as much. I had the OMG words reaction at first too. Then I went back and actually read it. Awesome.
Wow.
Call me a word nerd, but I especially like Laura's made-up word narcissors and isolation abinus.
All right, so this LP
Ambitionist.
has just turned to we're reading a Reddit thread on a comic you can't see.
Plus, using cognitive dissonance as a verb. Even fictitious drunk people are funny. Here we go. You ready for this?
All right.
I love some subnormality, but you gotta expect it to go over the heads of the majority of video gamers. Not that gamers are dumb or anything, but Metroid has almost zero dialogue, and nobody actually listens to the cutscenes in Tomb Raider.
All right.
If they see these two characters whom they love for boobs and action actually conversing, they'll just press buttons until it gets to the juice.
What is
Yes. I just want to press the buttons for the boobs.
Wait, okay. So can we put something? Can we all get on the same level here and say
Amazing.
gamers are dumb?
Right, I mean, I would totally expect it to go over stupid gamers' heads. I mean, it's because they're gamers that they don't want to read literally 10,000 words. Like, I like books, right? And I like comics, but, like, do you have to make them together? Even something like Walking Dead, I read that comic, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, dude. You turn to a page and it's just pure words, and you're like, I get it. It's not a webcomic, but you're like, please. But holy crap.
You know what? They should have more video games based on books. Look at Dante's Inferno, or any of the Japanese versions of Tom Sawyer, or Huckleberry Finn.
Name 3 more games based on books.
Witcher.
Legend. Oh yeah, actually all Witcher games.
Huh.
Actually, no. Talking about Witcher, the guy who wrote it, I don't know his name.
He's a Polish guy, so
he originally signed the deal to sell off the Witcher rights to make games for a flat fee with no royalties before Witcher 1 came out. And that gave him access to continue making the games Witcher 2 and Witcher 3, basically not even having to pay the author. And recently he has made a comment about being mad about it. And he's like, basically saying that his books are better than the games, which obviously you gotta say that, I guess.
Well,
Get wrecked, guy.
Yeah,
But like, ever since Witcher 1, he has made $0 on those games, and it's like, you are
that
an
seems
idiot.
like
I
kind of in bad
I thought
taste.
CD Projekt is like actually pretty cool. You think they would at least throw something? His
They're
way.
like one of those. I feel like they're one of those companies that are like, you know, they look cool, but they're still like a bigger company as far as like developers go now. So I think
I don't know if I had.
I mean, the comments that guy made, the author, made him sound like he is also bad, so they're probably both, like, just terrible people.
but he also made The Witcher. So
The Witcher.
The Witcher. I'm trying to think of other, but like not things that were like also majorly movies, you know.
So when Ocarina of Time came out, I ordered a novelization based on the game.
Oh yeah.
It was basically just a walkthrough, but it wasn't titled a walkthrough. It was like
yeah.
in novel
Oh,
form.
yeah, I remember that. Where
And
you,
it was
like,
extremely good.
like, actually good or just funny good?
No, it was funny.
Okay.
Good.
Hiya, Link said as he pulled out his arrow.
Wasn't it in first person?
It was
Dang.
yeah, it was.
So it'd be like, I opened the chest and I found the key. I used that key to open the door.
It was that was basically it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about old school strat guides are like they try to write them with like a certain tone, and it's just I like it.
Lord of the Rings.
No, I'm so bad at this. Why is Amy in this game so terrible?
Lord of the Rings game based on. Well, actually,
No,
of course,
they
there's,
only
there's
well,
a million
okay.
versions of Lord of the
They
Rings.
they did come out with I don't know how good it is a Lord of the Rings game on the Super Nintendo,
Yeah,
but the
That
ones
game's terrible.
the ones on the PS2 are like
They're
legit based on the movie.
Are
What?
you kidding me?
no, there's Lord of the Rings games like DOS, right?
All right.
But I will definitely say that the SNES games suck. But the
Yeah.
PS2 games are good.
Bible Adventures for NES.
That's true. There we go. There aren't a whole lot
Okay.
of games based on books.
So to get back to the game, this is really weird. So there is a white block. Okay, there it is. There's a white block here, and you're just like, why is it here? And then I think I just looked away. Or okay, yeah, just like no, okay. You have to remove the box. I did not understand how the white...
Don't you shoot the whatchamacallit?
Here, let's do this. Gone.
What? I thought you would shoot it with the isn't it
It looks like
isn't
a
it ice?
I thought it looked like a web kind of consistency.
Yeah, it's not web. It's that white translucent box.
Oh
thing.
god, this room.
And this one has a million Scolitas in every single white spot, so pretty cool. And this one is really weird. This is probably the weirdest like puzzle in the Master Quest version. So you have to go back out, you unlock this door that leads eventually to the key that you need at the end of the corridor. But then they have these time blocks. They had to play the Song of Time twice just to like I don't understand why they thought that it was a good idea.
Huh.
But you go in this block and then I actually did this before. I had to play Song of Time twice just to make some blocks appear. And it's not fun. It's just getting on a thing and then playing the song.
Huh. That's pretty interesting.
This looks like crap.
In my next example of webcomics, Link has to pay the Song of Time twice to get unblocked, and he's like, come on! Am
My
I right?
comic is Link comes to a room with a billion puzzles and a trillion keys, and he's like, "Who designed these places? Some dumb guy."
Good, nice. Here's one for you, Ben.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm not even sure if you played this game, so for maybe Trev. So it's involving Prince of Persia, okay?
Uh-huh.
And the prince is going about doing his thing. You know, he's like running around, and then he falls to his death out of nowhere, and he goes, "No, that's not how that happened."
Yeah, so you can imagine that, like, he's telling the story to some guy, and he's like, "Well, I entered this room, and it was a really big, like, place with a bunch of holes, and then I jumped down and died." Oh, wait.
He's like, "Wait a minute! That's not how it happened!"
I do want to play Prince of Persia. Probably just Sands of Time, but I think that would be cool.
Did you get it, Ben?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, if someone with actual wit, like, made that comic, it would actually be kind of good for a chuckle. Like, I don't know, just like have
I don't think it'd be that funny.
have Prince of Persia at a bar, and he's telling a story, and he's like, "Ah!" And it's like a million words, right? It's just a billion words.
There we go.
And he tells this whole
What is it? It's Prince of
come
Persia.
he tells this
Kratos
huge
in
story.
there.
It's as many words as that other thing we were looking at. At the end, he goes, "And then I fell in a pit and died." And then he goes, "Wait a minute, that's not how it happened." Oh my gosh, whew, dude. I personally am the funniest,
I'm beginning to think that no webcomics are funny.
and
actually.
I don't need anyone's opinion on that. I know I'm funny, so I'm gonna put this out for the
You
masses.
know what webcomics actually is funny? The one with Bertato.
One with what?
Bertato. With Reginald.
Oh
I
yeah,
forget
what's that called?
It's like, I forget what it's called. It's called like Nendroid or something.
Yeah, that one's good.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Gun Show is actually legitimately good.
Actually, my webcomics are the only good ones.
Ben, I subscribe to your webcomics. Subscribe to mine now.
Okay.
Okay.
So which Patreon tier are you coming in on?
Bro, top tier, bro.
You only get rewards starting at 100.
Yeah, well, I was doing like 500 a month. Dude, Trev, is this pure luck?
Well, I guess.
It's pure Z targeting.
It's not like it's hard at all.
Oh, it's the one that flips, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you can't do anything special with it. Like, the only way that you can make this faster is, I guess, like, getting one of, like, the more, like, fire arrow or something to do more damage. But they travel with you, so you can't even, like, attack them.
Ben,
with, like,
my
a sword.
question is, so I'm already donating 500 a month to your Patreon, but my question is, can it be, like, debited more often? Like, can it be twice a month that we...
Dude, there are some Patreons that do twice a month.
I'm glad you asked. I didn't know it was possible until now, but Trevor's just informed me it is.
No,
Good.
I've seen Patreons that are like, it was like $14,000, and it wasn't once per month, it was once every 2 weeks. So it's like, oh boy.
Wow.
I mean, we could get $14,000, and it was just like an artist or something, but we could get $28,000 every month.
Wow.
So it sounds like the arts are really prospering in this time.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's one thing that you want to... No, Ben, listen.
Yeah.
I think the number one thing that you should choose to be,
Mm-hmm.
like right now, you should start it up, is a graphic artist. There's just not enough of them. It's ridiculous.
That's true.
Like, literally, like, when a graphic arts project has to be done, it's like, where do you even start? Where do you even start? It's crazy. Like, these webcomics, like, the 3 webcomics we mentioned are, like, the only ones that exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely nuts. I don't even know where to begin.
I will say, for actual artists, the Patreon age does make it a little bit less sketchy nowadays.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, if
Like,
a
just a
guy's,
little bit.
if a guy's backed enough, then it's like, oh, okay, so this person's legit. Probably won't work for free. But also, if you expect art for free, you are a vile, terrible person.
Sorry.
But
Hey.
even in the past, like 5 years ago, if you're an artist by commission, like that limits how much money you can make to how many pieces you can do
Yeah.
and how much they're willing to spend for it, which probably isn't a whole ton, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
I support the arts. I bought Finch's painting, okay? Alright? It's that rabbit that's hanging upstairs.
So this boss...
And I
man,
bought Ben's webcomics.
I honestly don't remember how
Yep.
this boss works for the original one, but for this one, all the Ganons that appear in the painting are exactly the same, and the only way to tell which one is real is by listening to the sound. Like, if it sounds like he's galloping towards you and it's not to the left or right of the speakers, then it's good. So it's gonna be really hard with this.
So you're gonna
with
want to
Stevie.
tell. So you're gonna want us to keep talking.
Yeah. Luckily, I only had to do it 3 times, so that's one.
Also, if he starts coming through a portal.
Doesn't he do that for all of them?
Nope.
I thought that was it, but...
I think his armor actually looks different.
Because I could have sworn in the original version, he looks different.
Yeah, that's the real one.
Like, I could
Oh,
have
my
sworn
name's
that he
Ben.
looks
I have
different.
ears.
But in this
Yeah.
version, it seems like they
I'm
look
actually
the
only
same, but I'm
using
not
my
sure.
eyes. Not real. Real.
I think I see it now. So I wish I could one-cycle this guy, but I've never accomplished it.
How do you do that?
Power crouch stab and be good, and I'm not good. Also, when he's down, like, near the ground, it's really annoying. Yeah.
This is a really cool boss. It's not very long, but it's like I always like the ones like that where you have to play the
You have to play
old
play
baseball
ball.
game.
Play ball. Yeah, it's a really cool boss. They only repeat it for every Zelda game.
Yeah, it was really, really cool the first time they did it, and then they repeat it for the final boss, and that's fine. But nowadays, it's just way too much.
Technically, they already did it in both Link to the Past and Link's Awakening.
Yeah. So this is the third iteration
Yep.
here of the same concept. And there we go.
That was cool.
And do they do it in the future?
Oh yeah, they do it. They do it a billion times in Wind Waker with the Phantom Ganon.
Oh really? Once again, not a big Wind Waker guy.
In Twilight Princess, they do it with Corrupted Zelda. That's the first part of the final boss.
I remember that.
And then Skyward Sword, I'm not sure. They might.
Okay, that would be the only one where it makes sense to repeat it. Because you got the Wiimote.
You would think so, but I kind of think that they don't. Now that I think about
They
it.
really screwed up Skyward Sword.
But yeah, you fight Phantom Ganon 3 times, and the third time, in Wind Waker, you have to do it over and over again to know which room to go through. So you do it like literally like 10 times. What am I doing?
I thought you were like getting ready for something.
I was just being mad at Wind Waker for a second.
I just need to take a small breather here. Over Wind Waker again.
There's got to be a webcomic in that one.
Yeah, you just gotta take everything that a game has to offer, and make some sort of dumb joke about it, and be like, "Hey guys, remember
I can do
this
that.
game?"
What about this? What about this? Okay, ready? So,
I don't like this joke already.
Solid Snake.
Alright.
Alright. Okay, so Otacon is talking to Snake, right? And he's like, Snake, where are you? And Snake goes into the bathroom and is like in there. And Otacon can't like talk to him, right?
Yeah.
And he's like-
he's on the toilet.
Right, but like Snake turns off his comms or whatever and he's not
Yeah.
paying attention. And he's like, and Otacon's like, Snake! Snake! Get it? Get it?
No.
Okay. I've
Get it?
I've got one.
Okay.
So this is one where it's like Link picks up the Master Sword And
I'm following.
all right, so he takes it out of the pedestal. This is a young Link, and then 7 years pass. There's a little panel that says 7 years later, and it's like and it's and he wakes up and he's like, I only meant to go to sleep for like 20 minutes. Power nap.
Nice.
Epic.
You ever been there?
Dude, that was epic. Ben, I'm gonna donate once a week now to your Patreon.
Thank you. I deserve it.
So I'm gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna go back to the Temple of Time and get the song for the temple and the ability to go back to being a child. And then I'm gonna do a billion boring side quests off screen for next week. So I'm probably gonna have like 5 more hearts.
Lamo.
I wish. I'm gonna.
Ben, you should start a webcomic where it's just you. Oh God, there's too many levels of irony. It's literally just you explaining webcomics. Okay, so
I can do it.
in the next panel, okay.
do I get to make my own like super generous animated version of myself, illustrated version of myself, like all webcomic artists do, where they have like cool hair.
That freaking my favorite is the guy who draws himself as a bear.
Oh, Andrew Dobson.
Yeah, that's
Before
right.
he drew himself as a hair, or as a bear, he also drew himself with hair, and people were like, "Hey, you don't have hair."
Yeah.
Ben, I don't even know if it should be a web. Like, I think the webcomic should be like blank.
The webcomic.
Oh,
should
actually,
be,
the joke would just be you draw yourself as Leon.
the webcomic.
It's
is,
just like
yeah.
it's a blank page, but then you write words on it where the stuff would be. Okay, and then you always start at every panel with, "Okay, in this panel."
Okay, all right. So here's the webcomic.
Dude, that's memeing it pretty hard at this point.
The webcomic is actually an embedded YouTube video, and I'm pointing my phone's camera at the webcomic that I've made.
And then someone's like,
And then-
"Can you upload it?" I
and then
just did.
and then I
I
say-
just did, bro.
Then I say, so there's the first panel. Did you
Yeah,
get it?
and you have to like make the
You-
cam really, really shaky.
You can
And you're just like,
pause the video to read the panel, and
Oh,
I'm gonna move
boy.
on to the next one now.
Okay, and this panel, and then like you read the whole thing, and then you say, "Do you get it?"
Yeah.
Well, because
Do you
the
get it?
reason is because of this. Get it?
So that's what my webcomic thinks. Thanks for tuning in, guys, or thanks for reading.
I really think that like each like 4-panel webcomic should be like 20 minutes of explanation.
Yeah.
Well, so I derived the idea for this after reading Finnegan's Wake.
So I want.
That's why it seems to make no sense, but in reality, I've created my own language.
Yeah. So you actually see that the web.
Draped in levels of irony.
You may think that panel 1 is the start and panel 4 is the end, but what if the webcomic just keeps going and like the panels they can loop into one another?
Wow.
And that's kind of you see the same concept in Finnegan's Wake, where it begins in the middle of a sentence. It's just like my webcomic begins in the middle of a joke.
Wow. It gets in the middle of a joke. Oh, yeah, that's why. Oh, dude. I don't get it. Yeah, well, you're not supposed to get it, okay?
Yeah.
Alright? And you're, like, explaining it, and you're like, do you get this panel? Because you shouldn't.
You shouldn't get it.
If you said you got it, you lied.
You shouldn't get it yet. Wait. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the next one in about 30 seconds. Going to give you guys about 30 seconds. And
Have you read it yet?
to just read over it, think about it.
Have you read it?
I'm going to move my phone over to the next panel so you can see it. If you need a little more time, I guess that's why YouTube has a pause button.
What if you actually uploaded the files to like a website, but they were like in the dumbest like file type possible? Is there like a file type no one uses or like has access to anymore?
Actually, I would upload my comic strip just as an attachment, and it's in RAR, and then when you extract it, it's like a zip, and then a 7-zip, and then it just happens 10 times, 100 times.
And then the zip is an email, literally an email I saved to my computer that I sent to myself.
And then it leads to a URL that you have to download another encrypted RAR.
Yeah.
I like it. Good. And then when you finally get to the thing, it's like, I don't know if there's like a file type that's like obviously JPEG's a thing we use. If there's like, oh, no one uses this anymore, like a TIFF or something like that. Like, is that ever used?
No, it should just be.
When's the last time you saw a TIFF?
Right?
It really should just be an artifacted JPEG.
Yeah. So, and just say, sorry about the compression. I made this at work and I had to email it to myself.
Yeah. It has a limit of 50 bytes.
Yeah.
What if you made it a PDF and you vectorized it, which means it could be inscaled, upscaled infinitely, but then save that to a JPEG and vectorize that?
Yeah.
I'm in.
That's,
Well, lads, that's the end of the part.
See you next time for more webcomic action.
We will
Check out my webcomic.
We will continue our compressed JPEG discussion for later.
Check the JPEG link below. See you next time. I'm Ben.
Yep, bye.